Introducing the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and many more. The Open Palm Podcast, where the host engages his listeners with inspirational messages, motivating themes, and thought-provoking ideas. Topics include: make more mistakes, how much is your value, don't get right, get going, learning to let go, excellence is a habit, and more. Binge listen today. Subscribe today. It's getting excellent ratings. That's the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. You can also find it on YouTube. Make sure you share it with your social networks and connect on Twitter and Instagram at Jerome Shaw. That's the Open Palm Podcast with Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms. Go listen, download, and subscribe now.
Everything is about energy exchange. And a lot of people, they know how to manipulate that energy exchange to where they can suck you of your energy, or they can replenish your energy, right? Or they could just be at balance and not try to do anything with energy. That's called understanding.
Thank you for joining, brother. I would love to introduce to you Image Ruffin.
Woo! Yay! What's going on, people?
Mr. Highly Favored himself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's your boy, Image. Thank you to my man, Jerome, for having me today on the Open Palm Podcast. It is a pleasure and an honor to be here and talk with you and be heard by all of your lovely fans and people who you encourage every day. And, I'm just blessed to be able to have this opportunity to share my insight on whatever it might be that people need to hear. So I was downtown Los Angeles. I was walking, and it's crazy because, everybody knows how congested downtown can be. And I was at the crosswalk, and there was this tourist girl. She was some type of Oriental. But she was at the crosswalk with me, and there was a car about to turn. When the light had turned green, it was turning in front of us. And she thought she just had to just go because it's green. So she thought to walk. But the car sped off so fast. It was about to run us both over, because it's so close to the curb. So she just took one step off the curb when she was about to. I stopped her.
Nice.
I stopped her, and the car went right by. And she looked at me, her eyes just bulged, and she's like, "Thank you." And I was like, you got it, not in my head, like, you got it. And then right after that happened, I was walking through the crosswalk, and the lady who had seen it, this older woman, she was like, "You're a modern day hero." And I was just like, shucks. I was blushing. I just played it off cool. But, it really felt good, not just because people gave me, kind words or whatever, or, they were boasting me, but it's because I did something good. And doing something good feels good, I don't know, just like that instant gratification of doing something good for somebody, saving their life, or just, I could have just been like, oh, let her walk. No, a lot of people let a lot of things pass by, but when we open our mind and we're aware and conscious of everything going on around us, we realize that it is our duty to act in that quick moment when when you can save somebody's life or make a difference or do something that would change somebody for someone, change their perspective on people of your nationality or your background or your color, or just little things every day, just planting seeds in people's mind, just giving them a different perspective on young black men, because I'm a young black man in America. And we don't get the best rap,
Right.
I'm born originally in Long Beach, California.
Okay.
23 years old. I aspire to be my career is I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, but I also am a label owner. I own a label called Highly Favored Entertainment.
Yes.
And we're just not just about music. We're about everything that has to do with entertainment. Modeling, acting, visual needs, graphic needs. So I'm basically building this corporation right now from the ground up with my partner, Jason Garcia. Shout out to Jason. And the background for me is I grew up, single mom. She raised 3 boys by herself. I'm the youngest of the 3. Yeah. We're always, on Section 8 or bouncing around. And, we didn't have it too easy, going from sporadic situations to another spontaneous move. Things would never just be stable, for me growing up. So I just made it like a point to myself where I need to build myself a foundation. Like even to this day, I still struggle to this day, but I don't let that I don't let my past life and even my present life dictate where my vision I have for myself in the near future or the far future is.
Right.
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 So,
Yes, sir. So not letting that define you, not allowing your past to define your future.
exactly. We're all human, so we all are allowed to feel an array of emotions.
Yeah.
First off, I'm going to tell everybody, you're not wrong for feeling any type of emotion, whether it's anxiety, you're anxious for something to happen in the future because you've been working for it and you're just like, oh, I just know it's going to happen, or I just feel so good, or you're sad, or whatever. You're allowed to feel those things. But don't let those emotions or actual events happening in your life take you away from continuing on the path that you've been doing. Like, let's say, for instance, you might not have a whole lot of money, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you want to build a business. You know, like say me, I'm gonna take myself. I'm building a business right now. I'm building a record label, and I didn't have any money. I didn't know where the heck I'm gonna get some money to put into this business for video productions,
Yeah.
for studio time, for marketing, promotions, all these things, right? And so I had a conversation one day with some folks when I was doing some little odd jobs and whatnot, right? And they were telling me, we had this conversation about, if you need to make $10,000 right now, what would you do? You had to come up with $10,000 in the next 24 hours. What would you do?
Right.
And I had to answer him like, see if I can get somebody to invest it to me or lend it to me, because we're in California, we're in Hollywood,
Right.
and I know there's, for every person out here, we all know somebody who got some money, right? Who can, if you have something worthwhile, a vision worthwhile that you truly believe in, you can get other people on board with believing in. Then it's not about the money. It's about the energy that you put out, because money is only energy. Money is currency. Currency is an energy flow. Right. So once you tap into that correct energy flow, you can literally pull these things into your life with just the power of your mind. Once you believe and see clearly a clear path on what you need to do, because first you need to ask yourself the right questions.
Right.
And once you ask yourself the right questions, the answers will reveal themselves to you. But you won't succeed unless you take action once you receive those answers.
I truly believe that, brother. Man, that is so pointed, brother. I love what you said about, attracting. My friend always tells me that you don't have to chase what you can attract, but also, the 6 letters in the word attraction is action, so that's definitely key, that we have to take action to be able to attract what we want in our lives. But man, keeping our minds focused on the goal, our eyes on the prize and what have you. I love, man, thank you for that message, brother, from your personal experience about getting somebody to invest in your dream. If you are motivated, if you believe it, then that belief will rub off on someone else,
Yeah.
But no one's going to believe it if you don't believe it,
Exactly.
You won't be able to transfer that energy. So,
exactly.
man, energy currency. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have this thing with instant gratification, and most of us, we want big rewards, but big rewards can often take longer than short rewards. So how are you able to stay patient and understand your work is not going in vain?
You have to be aware. This all comes back to awareness. And once you have awareness, you are centered and you are in tune. So once you're aware and you're in tune and you're centered, you're able to perceive the signs.
Okay.
Once you're able to see the signs in your life clearly, whether they be from people passing by, a conversation that you hear people passing by, and it might be some type of confirmation through that, or it will be it's just anything that the universe will send to you that you recognize for you on your own personal path that means something to you, some type of confirmation or some type of, or maybe I shouldn't be there or do this or that at this point in time. You have to pay attention to the signs.
Yeah.
If you don't pay attention to the signs, you're going to end up in a ditch. Like,
man,
there's this movie, it's called The Rat Race, and I think the people, they were on the road, and they got up to this lady, and she was selling squirrels, and she gave them the wrong directions, and they ended up in a ditch because they didn't want to buy a squirrel. Now, how they had just read the signs for themselves and paid attention and were in tune into their awareness, they would have realized that this lady she had ill intentions for them, that even though she was smiling and she was like, oh yeah, you're just gonna take the road down this way, because she was mad. She was mad because they didn't want to purchase a squirrel from her. Now people in our lives, they can come in our lives and they can destruct or they can construct our lives, right? But sometimes they'll have a face, so you have to be aware to be able to read the signs and in between the lines of people's disguises, and also just be in tune with yourself, so you're able to just know what path you need to continue walking on or which way you need to go, so you don't get tripped up.
Yes.
You know, and once you're in tune with that, you'll feel so much more secure with God, with yourself. You'll feel secure and you feel aligned with, okay, I am on the right path. I might not have this, and that, but I know if I continue doing this and this, I'm going to have an abundance of what I could have ever imagined.
Right.
You know?
Man, I love that. So awareness
is key.
Awareness, brother. Brother, I actually have a question I would love to hear from you, just your perspective on this.
Okay.
What is the difference between understand, overstand, and understand?
All right. I love this question.
Okay.
Now, this kind of comes down to a legal term.
Okay.
Because when it comes to our rights, everybody's rights, and just as people, to the Constitution, words have so much power when it comes to dealing with the police. So if you don't truly understand what is happening with the words, the spells that are being used, that are to get your consent for things to happen, you will be understood by them. I mean, they will overstand you, right? So let's start with understanding.
Okay.
Understanding is kind of the same as empathy, right? When you're empathetic with somebody or their situation, you understand them, you connect with them, you relate to them, right?
Okay.
When you understand somebody, that means that somebody, like say your girlfriend or somebody's mad at you and she's like, oh, I don't want you peeing on this. I mean, you're going to relate. It's going to be understanding. But at the same time, if somebody comes at you with a certain energy, I'll put it this way. If they come at you with a certain energy and you kind of like put your tail between your legs and you just kind of like just go with it or whatever, you understood them.
Okay.
Right? And you're not trying to fight back. You understood them. Like, okay, I get it. I'm not trying to fight you back. You feel this type of way. I understand you. I'm going to listen to your rules, and you're the boss.
I see.
Right? And now that person is the overstander at that point in time. So an understander and an overstander, they are complete dual opposites. But an understander is someone who is just an empathetic person who is easy. I mean, they can relate easier to most people. Gotcha. When you understand, you don't try to have some type of control over somebody or think that you just connect. You just connect to them. Yeah. On a very equal playing field.
Okay. So it sounds like someone who understands is someone with a certain amount of emotional intelligence. They're able to feel people on the level.
Definitely.
Okay. Man, thank you for clearing that up for me. Once again, thank you for joining us on the podcast.
Brother, yeah, man, it's a pleasure.
Man, the pleasure is mine, brother. I would love for you to plug anything that you have coming up, any music, anything that the people should know about, and let us know where we can find you.
Okay, yeah, so as I told you guys before, I'm a singer, songwriter. I actually just shot 2 music videos last month. One is called Backwoods in Venice. I'm going to be dropping the video to that this week sometime. I haven't chosen the exact date, but I'm also going to be doing a performance at the Social Hookah Lounge in LA coming this next weekend. So I'm going to be performing that new song, and I'm going to be at the same time promoting the video and everything of that such. People, you can find me on Instagram at Image, IMAGE, HF. HF stands for highly favored. Again, that's Image, HF. Got some new music dropping, some new videos dropping, and just a whole bunch of cool stuff going on.
All right, brother. Blessings, brother.
This was really cool, bro. did a podcast before. I really appreciated, being able to be heard. So thank you for allowing me to just speak, because it's refreshing, to bounce ideas off each other and be able to just let my mind just go free for a minute.
Yes, sir. It definitely is a form of release. It's a form of therapy when we can voice these things. But, each one teach one to reach one. I believe that's why we're here.
Yes, sir.
We're here for a purpose. And so thank you for sharing your light, your love, and thank you for living your truth today, brother.
Gratitude, man. Thank you. Thank you.